Compass Theater has a festival in the summer called the Reliance Festival, and it chooses plays from a great number of plays that are submitted. And they came across this one, and it was a bit longer than their usual fare, and it was so powerful, Dale had to do it. And Dale's...
I can't believe anyone still acts like this. It's worth it, though. Look, hardly a priest. Yeah, people from Ramallah are very honored. It's not for here. It's for when we go to the kibbutz. For the ceremony, we haven't seen some of these guys in years. I wanted to look my best.
I play Mara, and I live in Ramallah. I've been in Ramallah for about a year. I moved there after my father died, and the reason I moved to Ramallah was to train English teachers. And as I became friendly with the Palestinians, I started to understand their plight and their situation from the Palestinian point of view, and I become sympathetic to them. So in the midst of that, my sister comes to visit, and she is intent on burying our father's ashes on the kibbutz that he
I thought this sort of thing, very plain, understated. What's wrong?
Too low, not modest enough. Actually, this is more the sort of thing a woman like you would wear out here.
What do you mean a woman like me?
Well, you know, married, middle class, 40-something, traditional values. I mean, I'm a real mess compared to the women I meet. I don't paint my nails, I don't wear makeup. I'm definitely a mess compared to the women I meet.
Yes, well, I guess you're just too busy doing your good causes.
Hi, my name is Sherri Allen, and I play Nat in Welcome to Ramallah at Compass Theater. Nat is a British Jew married to an American, and she's not very political. She doesn't really know much about the situation. She just knows the way that she was raised. And so she said, you know, we were Zionists, you were the enemy, period. I'm not saying it's right, but that's how it was for us growing up. And so she just doesn't question her allegiances. She's very devout in her beliefs, but she doesn't honestly know why she believes what she believes.
Look, I've just come for Dad, and then I really am out of here. And I would like to take you with me, Nat. Well, I mean it, Mara. I'm worried about you. We all are. What are you doing out here? It's all so extreme.
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant to get some cakes in for you, but I had to work late again. But
cheesecake, some Danish, cream cheese, Gouda, pickled herring, honey cucumber, bagels, and lots of it.
You brought me all this on the plane?
No, of course not. I got in Jerusalem this morning. Thought you could do some proper food. And don't go giving it all away to your friends, Mara. I know what you're like. What time are they coming, by the way?
At 6.
Oh my God, that soup.
Oh, I know. I thought you'd have time for the rest of it. It all took so much longer.
Can't you put them off? Say I'm tired from the journey?
Oh, I can't do that.
My name's Saiid Zamingir, and I've been acting for about a year or so. My character, Daoud, basically is a troubled older man with a broken family. He's been through a lot. He's gone through prison. He's been raised through a very proselytized, very religious point of view. He made a lot of bad decisions in his life, although going to prison has changed his perspective on life dramatically. And he used his negative experiences in order to shape other people's understandings of how certain situations must be thought of.
Hello? Come in. Assalamu alaikum. Ahlan wa welcome.
Alaikum issalam.
Oh, thank you. They're beautiful.
I well remember an aunt of mine whose husband's name was Adah. She would say Adah, and I remembered that sound, and it very much fits the dialect and the accent. And so I auditioned, and then went off on vacation to France, not knowing how I would get the part, and got an email from him about 2 weeks later saying we'd be very happy to have you play this part.
Salim brought you some fresh mint notes. From my wife. She promised you, remember?
Oh, so kind. How is she?
Right, very bad now. Much pain. She cannot do much, but she wants to pick this for you. I say stay in bed, but she say, no, this lady should try to help us. We must give her something, even if it's small. And she wants to know when you come visit again.
Oh, this is my sister Natasha. This is Dowd and his uncle Salim. Hello.
Ah, Natasha is a Russian name.
Yes, our grandparents were Russian on our mother's side, so we both were given Russian names.
I was named after my great aunt Tamara.
Oh, really?
Well, I called myself Mara as a child, so it just kind of got stuck. Come in, please sit down, and I'll make us some tea, some freshman tea. Some naan?
I will come help you.
No, you're the guest. You must be tired after your long journey. I will help with the tea.
Oh, no, that's all right, Dowd. I'd rather you sit and talk to Nat.
It was because of the strength of the response of the audiences and the critics and the people who came to see the show who were able to express their opinion that I think Dale Morris wanted it to be played again.
You are coming from Britain?
I came via Britain from the States. My husband's American.
Ah, Mara tells me you live in Cleveland.
Yes.
Oh, my son not there.
Oh, really?
He married an American too.
Ah, right.
Well, they are divorced.
You like United States, Mr. Bush? Maybe your husband like it.
Oh, no way. Sam is a Democrat. He got really behind the Hillary campaign.
Ah, you do not support Obama.
Well, we like the idea of a woman in the White House.
Didn't you, Mara? Anyway, we never had time for Bush in our house or the Iraq War.
What do you think of Ramallah?
I'm sure it's charming once you get to know it. I just came through on that little bus thing. I really couldn't express an opinion yet.
You did not come with taxi.
Oh, well, that would have been less tiring.
You bring your sister here?
She had the experiences that the two women in the play had, or at least some of them. And I'm sure some of them were invented and then condensed into a play so that it would have the proper dramatic form.
And your father died a year ago, Mara told me.
Yes.
And that's why you are here.
Oh, I told you that too.
Salim doesn't know what we're talking about.
It was our father's wish for his ashes to be buried on a kibbutz in the Galilee. That's why I come.
Salim comes from a village in the Galilee too.
Oh, really? Oh, it's so beautiful up there, isn't it? Oh, after Mom died, Dad used to send me and Mara out there every summer. It was like a paradise for us, wasn't it, Mara? The wonderful landscape, the simple outdoor life. Oh, even the air smelled different.
I'm not sure that Salim needs to hear all this.
Well, all I'm saying is that it was great on the kibbutz.
Yes,
and
but
all those
it's
people
just
really living out their ideals. Exactly. Do you remember picking oranges? Oh, I found some photos. The one of you and me.
Exactly. Do you remember picking oranges? Oh, I have some photos. I dug them out before I left. The one of you and me picking oranges. They're in here somewhere. I must show you.
You can show me later.
No. I want to show your friends. This is little Mara dancing the hora. You got really good at Israeli dancing, didn't you?
Our father and my uncle helped found the kibbutz, though Dad didn't stay on. I really miss going back there. Though I know it's changed, not quite the idol I remember. Where exactly did your family live?
Our village name was Yetta.
That's right, the kibbutz is called Yetta. Too. Exactly.
Coming to this play, I think I connected with Nat quite a bit because I didn't know a lot about the issues at all, and I don't think Nat knows about them either. And it's really news to her what the situation was, and in fact, it was news to me. And so we've researched it quite a bit in the course of rehearsing the play, and it was a real eye-opener for all of us.
You haven't been able to visit since?
There is no village now. They threw us out in 48. We become refugee.
Maybe you like some more tea. Come.
And you haven't been back in all that time?
In my dreams. For 60 years it is my dream. You who live in America or England, you can visit any time the place where my family, they lived for hundreds of years. Whenever you want, you come and go. But I who was born there, no.
Maybe we can take photos when we go.
Oh, Nat, for
Yes.
God's sakes.
I use photos in the reminiscence work. The old folks really appreciate it.
I would be very pleased if you would do that. If you will do that, it would be pleasing me very much. I will tell you exact place where to go. If you could find our olive trees, it make me very happy to know that something still stand on our land from time of our ancestors.
But it's your olive trees here that you're worried about, isn't it, Salim? Because of the wall? I mean, how many have you lost now?
Maybe your sister wants to hear some of the good things about our life here, for a change.
I think all the characters in some ways change, but I think my character evolves. I feel that I'm the one, of course, who has lived through all this, and I feel this. I feel the loss of it. I feel the memories of my childhood in this place where I can't go, where I couldn't even bury my father. And so I live with the trauma and the loss of it, but I think that I also come from a generation where I feel more prepared to deal with people as they are now.
My father will be very happy if I say, Mother's sister come to visit us. Nobody can see us anymore, it is too difficult. And my wife, she is too frightened to travel, the soldiers, questions.
Which is what they want, of course, to stop people from moving around, and now with the walls.
Sorry, but it has stopped the suicide bombing.
You know, Natasha, you're in the only place in the world where you have to go north to go south.
Do you get it now? It's because people have to make these massive detours because the wall blocks them off. I mean, that's how people survive out here. They make a joke out of everything. Does it sound familiar?
You would like joke, no?
They helped us survive when times were bad.
Really, you understand. Of course the Yehud understand these things.
You mean the Jewish people, Uncle? We know they have suffered in their history.
Well, now it is our turn. We are the Jews now.
Excuse me. I need to get some air.
What struck me was that, well, first of all, not only the Palestinians that came to see the show and how happy they were, I mean, just thrilled that their side of the story has been told, finally, in a very enlightening way, a very honest way, but also a very diplomatic way. I think it's a very balanced play. It's a very well-written play in the sense that it tells a story, and it tells the Palestinian side of the story as well, but it tells them from a Jewish perspective, which makes it really interesting, and it's not as preachy as it could have been.
That is for when you meet some gorgeous man. Maybe when we take our trip to the Galilee, you might meet some handsome Israeli guy. Some peacenik type.
I told you I'm not going.
Don't be silly, Mara. I have booked the ceremony. The cousins are coming. Some of the old-timers from the kibbutz. We cannot let them down. We will bury Dad, finally, in the place he loved most.
There's still issues that remain unresolved for me, but I'm open to the dialogue more than I think I was when I began the process. So there was also something else I didn't realize at the time, and that was that there are some factions of the Israeli population. I knew of them, the very conservative factions, but I didn't really believe they had much voice in the government, that really don't want peace. And all along, I thought Israel wanted peace, and they were just being thwarted in that fact by bad terrorists, causing violence, and then defending themselves against these. But there is actually a faction in Israel that doesn't want peace, because the longer conflict drags on, the longer there is no Palestinian state, the more land can be acquired by occupying armies, and more settlements get built and less land eventually for any settlement. And this was a difficult realization for me, as some of the other things were as well.
I mean, hello! We just had visitors, and you act as if nothing happened, as if they didn't exist, just like we were kids coming here year after year. There must have been Arabs around, but to us they were invisible.
Well, I don't remember seeing any.
Oh, but you remember that derelict stone building.
Of course. I had my first snog there with Ori.
Exactly. To us it was just a place for kids to make out in. We never once thought that a family like Salim's had been forced out for our convenience.
Convenience?
Oh, and don't start with the Holocaust.
What do you mean, don't start?
It's so exploitative.
33 people in our family died in the gas chambers, and you're saying don't start?
Exploiting the people like our grandparents, to justify a crime. That's disgusting.
What crime?
Taking away someone's country from them is, in my opinion, a crime.
Excuse me. 2,000 years the Jews have been persecuted. 2,000 years we have been waiting to return to our country.
Oh, our country. That is ridiculous. You can't just show up after 2,000 years and say, hello, I'm back and this is mine.
There have been Jews living here continuously since biblical times.
So what? A tiny minority. Another people have been living here all that time. That's the point. We were sold a lie. There's a land without a people for a people without a land. That's the Zionist propaganda.
Zionist propaganda? What has happened to you? What are you, the PLO, Mara? Have you become completely brainwashed?
You're the one that's brainwashed.
All they wanted was a safe place for Jews. Is there anything wrong with that?
Safe.
Where else were people like Uncle Doug supposed to go after the camps?
And what about Salim's family? Where were they supposed to go?
I was surprised at the perspective of the Jewish folks that came to see the play as well, because they weren't, they didn't feel put aside by it at all. You know, they thought it was refreshing as well, and they thought it was fair, and I think it was sort of an eye-opener for them as well, so.
I'm sorry, Nat. I'm so sorry.
So I got you to myself tonight. We haven't seen each other in so long, and all we've done so far is fights.
I know, and you must be exhausted. Why don't you go and have a nap?
It is about understanding one's part in a long history of everything that has happened up until that point. So it's more than that. It's accepting your own past and your own history and what your people have done on both sides. So I think it's really about sort of meeting in the middle and accepting what has happened and moving forward from there, hopefully in a spirit of acceptance and peace.
What the hell was that?
Curfew announcement. Dowd and Salim couldn't make it in time, so I've invited them to stay with us. And besides, I've already made supper, so you better go and check on Salim.
Thank you, Mara. Thank you so much for doing this. And you too, Missy. See you very soon.
Curfew?
Yep.
You mean we can't leave the apartment?
Yep.
For how long?
Who knows?
Jesus, Mara, when are we going to talk? We have so little time.
Well, you could stay on.
The ceremony is on Thursday, remember?
So you keep saying. Oh, they're back. Soldiers may want to search the building. And if they come to this flat, we do not tell them you're here.
Oh, God.
Hello?
Come in, it's open.
This is nice. We get to spend more time listening to food talk.
Are you alright?
Fine, just a bit.
You have asthma? Oh, God, it's terrible. My son has it. God, are you okay?
Yes, I am okay now.
They say it's genetic. Do your kids have it?
Only my youngest daughter.
Salim has 10 children.
Really? Well, I knew you all had big families. But 10? Do they live near you?
6 live outside. The United States, Saudi Arabia, Cairo, Lebanon, every place else.
Wow.
This is how we live now.
Well, you must miss them.
Of course. We would not want this, especially my wife. But believe me, if it were not for their help, especially my son Omar in Chicago, he is doctor, medical director of hospital, and my other son, he is lawyer in Cleveland. All our family over here, we could not even eat. One daughter, she just come back now after getting a master's in public health. She has work here now, but no, they're all good children. And I have 36 grandchildren.
That's amazing.
The day they make us to leave, when the Yehud come to our village, I remember everything like it was yesterday.
What was that? Was that shooting?
Yes, but you're safe here.
Your sister, she wanted to know what happened to us in 48.
Shooting, bam, 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 bam.
Really?
Oh my God.
Bam, 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 bam.
That is just how it started. It was very early in the morning, and I was in bed, and I hear loud shooting, and then the Jewish soldiers, they come into the village, many soldiers, and they shout, all men and boys, go to village square. And we are so very frightened. I remember one soldier, he go all around the village. He has to every family, give us your guns. And he has a whip, a long whip, and he hit this whip at anyone, so it make them to jump. And then he just laugh. He does not care.
That's awful.
We knew this man.
Really?
Lights come back.
Yes, before the fighting, he come often to buy cattle from my father. He was our neighbor. Many times he come and eat at my father's guest house. So on this day when he comes to our house, my father, he think he will show respect. But this man, he just hit my father like this on side of head. And his headdress, it fall off. And my father sit there with his headdress on ground, trying to keep his respect. I think I come to appreciate these two women more. I don't at first. I think I come to realize and feel it that Mara, the younger sister, who I at first see as just another international, a liberal, who is a facile liberal, but I come to feel that she has staying power, that she really does feel these things. And even Nat, the person who is the more stereotyped Jew who has all the wrong ideas as far as I'm concerned, I think I come to appreciate, and not just because she saves my life, in effect, but because I come to appreciate her feistiness. And I don't like the way my nephew is browbeating her, because to me, as much as I want them to appreciate and know what happened to me and my people and my Palestinian people, to know both what we lost before and what life is like for us now, I want them to know this, to appreciate this, but it's not as important to me as it is to my nephew to get an apology. And so I don't like it that he browbeats her and almost blackmails her into saying, I'm sorry, because to me it's more important that she appreciates and seems to accept at least that these things happened.
That was different.
That was different.
Why?
That was war. Stuff happens in war.
War is for soldiers. We were civilians. And it is still war against civilians. What has happened? What has happened?
Looks like they're surrounding the building. They're going through one of the downstairs apartments. Stand back. You do not want to get a bullet through.
Why are all those people coming out of the building? I mean, those children must be freezing out there in their pajamas.
That is what they do when they search the building.
Oh my God, we won't have to go out there, will we?
Waterfront International, so we hope this will protect us. It is empty.
He needs to lie down. Maybe the attack will pass.
Well, he can lie in my bed.
I'll take him. I know that first aid for my son.
No, I will take him.
Maybe I could get him another inhaler if I spoke to the Israeli soldiers.
You must be joking.
But he's in a bad way, poor man. God, it's the panic that makes it worse, especially at his age.
And he has angina.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, God, that's all we need for him to die on us. Oh, my God, Mara. This whole evening has been a nightmare. I knew I never should have come.
But I was also surprised at how many Jewish friends of mine who don't themselves like the position that the Israeli government takes as far as settlements. So to them it wasn't news, and it was very meaningful and had impact on them. I also have a Jewish friend who, if I had not been in the play, she would have walked out. She said, I only stayed because of you. She said, I know, that's revisionist history. Those things don't happen, didn't happen. So she's one of those who was just assaulted, utterly assaulted by the idea that anyone would even suggest that the Jews, even one time, or the Israeli army, or the Jews who were fighting, did anything like what she thought Palestinians doing.
My mother, she said to this man, but we know you. You know our family. How you can behave like this?
Then my mother, she said to this man, but we know you. You know our family. How you could behave like this?
He said to us, in war, I do not know anyone.
In war, I do not know anyone. Then he tell us we must go from our house, you must leave. He tell us we must go to village square.
Then one soldier, he say, women here, men there. They ask all men aged 10 to 50 to sit down. My mother, she holds me. But one soldier, he shouts for me to go with the women. I am small for my age. But man with whip, he speak to soldier and he let me go, so I stay with women. Then this soldier, he start to call out name from a list, but nobody answer. So he just point and say, you, 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 you.
I did read the reviews that various authors, various critics had, and almost every one of them was very positive. They thought the play was strong, they thought the acting was very powerful, and it brought up issues that, that they may not have thought of, or they may not have thought of them in that same way. And so I think they were all very appreciative. The Palestinian community from the colleges and locally in town responded positively, and people came, and there were talkbacks led by a professor of Mideast Studies from San Diego State University, and some interesting conversations were held after the play, sometimes perhaps even more pointed than the play itself, and that was a great thing.